Hello, StarCraft fans! This is fucking Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload, and today it's a game between Nerchio and DeMusliM on Abyssal Reef, the latter edition. In the top left-hand corner of the map, we have the Red Zerg player. His name is Nerchio. And in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, it is the blue Terran player, DeMusliM. Very, very good. This is from the Barcelona WESG qualifiers held in Spain. Let's see, a couple of weeks ago now. Indeed it is, but it is on patch 4.0.2. Latest balance patch of StarCraft. Very important, I know, to everybody to see how the players are adjusting to 4.0.2. Arthur here, our Nerchio player, is hailing from Poland, plays for Euronics Gaming. And in the bottom right, again, it's DeMusliM hailing from the UK, currently teamless, but he's been around for a long time, knows many, many tricks, and just has so many hours of muscle memory locked into his body about how to play StarCraft that he probably has forgotten more StarCraft information than any of us actually know. And now somebody watching is going to be like, well, actually, I've been playing StarCraft since 1997, and I've played 400,000 games. You think anyone's tracked that? Think anyone's tracked how many games they've played since StarCraft came out? Like the first vanilla StarCraft? That'd be amazing. Be interesting to see who could have the claim to the most. And prove it too, right? That's the thing. You have to prove it, which sounds really difficult to do. I guess tracking ladder games wouldn't be too bad. Anyway, marine opening here from DeMusliM. Checking to see... Actually, not checking anything. He knows Nerchio's going hatch first. Hatch first here. Got himself an extractor and a pool. It varies exactly when you want to get that extractor and pool. Sometimes it's 1617, sometimes it's 1616. Just depends. Go find a build on LOTV.spawningtool.com and find one that works for you. And maybe tweak it. Maybe tweak it a little bit if necessary as well. You have a couple lings coming out here for Nerchio. 2 sets. Got 4. So one heading along this top side and one taking the bottom path to try to get some damage done. As there's not a Reaper and just a single Marine, this could be difficult for DeMusliM to hold here. Overlord's also scouting. I like this vision. The vision here from Nerchio is would also find proxy barracks if they happen to be here as well. That'd be the first time he would see those. So very good. I like it a lot. And this poor single Marine's going to be trying to hold this. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be enough at all. Oh, and he's coming up as well. Oh, trying to kite. Does manage to kite back to the bottom of the ramp. Can the SCV take down, or can the Lings take it down on this SCV? That is building this easily taking it out, at least forcing it to run for its life here. More off the line. SCV does end up dead. SCV is pulled off to try to create a bit of a meat shield. They delayed it. They delayed the completion of this command center, but they didn't kill it. And that's an important deal. Lings decided to head on back home. He did force 3 SCVs off the line to stop no mining at all for these guys, which is really annoying. You want to make them go back? No? Alright, that's fine. This guy can make the long distance trip. Widow Mines from DeMusliM. That's going to be a starport, so probably some kind of a Widow Mine push, Widow Mine drop possibly on the Nerchio. We'll see if he's prepared for that or not. He's checking to see, is there anything threatening my third base? The answer is no. There's nothing threatening this at all. DeMuslim's playing this extraordinarily passively, actually burrowing the Widow Mine at the front here in case more Lings decide to come on in. Once again, after they fire, Widow Mines are detectable. They are seeable at that point, visible to the enemy until the cooldown comes off and they can fire again, at which point they become cloaked again. Kind of an interesting change. We've seen a lot of complaints about it in the comments and from other players here. In this situation, right, where a bunch of Lings roll in, a bunch of them take a shot, the remaining Lings can get revenge at that point. They can kill the Widow Mine, which is one major difference from what we used to see. Liberator here too, and yes, it's going to be a Marine Widow Mine push. Drop it initially to kill this Overlord. Oh, this Scouting Overlord. Get out of there, Scouting Overlord. Can you make it? Can you live is the question. The answer is going to be yes. Does DeMusliM want to chase it down? Yeah, he does. He put all that time into almost killing it. I'm not going to let it survive at this point. Baneling Nest from Nerchio. So, interestingly enough, I'm probably not going to see like a Roach Ravager thing here. Could be Ling Bling Muta. He doesn't have a lair even on the way at this point in time. And Overlords are just interested in... Marines are actually interested in just killing Overlords right now. And somebody did request that I do an Overlord noise. RAP Husky. So here he is. That's him running. He's running for his life out here to this dead space where hopefully the medevacs won't see it. Oh, the Queens. 4 Queens on the ground here chasing that medevac away. Get out. Get out of my house. Overlord does manage to escape. Pretty sure he can't be seen by the Terran player. up in here. At least not reachable. Oh, Hellion push here from DeMusliM. This is it. This is the timing. So Liberator set up at the natural base while Hellion push comes into the third. Oh no, Liberator coming into the main. Oh, the Queen. The Queen saw it. Queen saw it coming. Marines dropped. Banelings trying to explode on these Hellbats. Big time hits. Massive hits here, but 3 Hellbats are remaining. 1 does end up going down. The medevac gets picked out of the sky. Wouldn't mind firing a bunch of friendly fire damage there. Unfortunately, Nerchio does manage to clean that thing up. So 3 drones do end up getting killed. Liberator gets killed by this Queen. She is very pleased with herself on that one. And then, is this Scouting Overlord? I think that's just the Scouting Overlord. Yeah, not a Drop Lord. Does get killed, but does scout on in. Does see the factory. Additional factories here. So we're going to see the mech out of DeMusliM. We saw him do this against Lambo in a game of his last week. It was a real good ZVT. I recommend you watch that one if you haven't already. I might put a link to it at the end of this cast, right? On that little splash screen, there's a link to... I choose the one on the bottom, and then YouTube chooses the one on the top. That's how I've decided to let that go. And so far, I think it's working. Anyway, so check it out at the end of the cast. You can have a link to DeMusliM versus Lambo. Again, recommend it. Recommend it highly. It's a very interesting 4.02 game. Nerchio getting a 4th base just south of the natural, as is tradition, here on Abyssal Reef. 61 to 51 harvesters. Nerchio has the lead. 3rd base is done for DeMusliM. And by done, I mean it's inside his natural. He needs to lift it off and move it somewhere else. He'll do that after he upgrades it to a command or an orbital command right now, though. Working on the Infernal Pre-Igniter is DeMusliM, and getting some Thor production here too. I love it. I really like what we're seeing. I'd also like to see Smart Servos, which allows your Hellions, Hellbats, Vikings, and Thors to transform quickly between combat modes. It's real nice. It's just nice to be able to say, these Hellbats are in trouble. Transform into quick mode and run away. Also from Thors. Suddenly Broodlords, bam, transform into the anti-air against Broodlord mode and have a great time. Hydralisk Den on the way from Nerchio. I should have known it'd be Hydras. I should have known it would have been Hydras. They're just such a staple in Z versus everything these days. I guess not so much in ZVZ, although they do show up. But it seems like every Zerg player definitely wants Hydras against Protoss, 100%. But against Terran, we're seeing it more and more often. And I just don't know. I mean, against Mech, doesn't make sense. But how many tanks there are DeMusliM's working on. He's double pumping them. He's working on +1/+1 for those dudes, too. Viking flying around trying to kill overlords. He's trying to keep Nerchio in the dark is what he's doing. And so far, look at this. This vision.
Swarm forces under attack.
He can't see anything at all. Is that Abathur? I think that's Abathur. I love Abathur from the Heart of the Swarm campaign. You should play the Heart of the Swarm campaign just for the Zerg characters. They're very interesting. All right, moving on to the creep. Getting rid of some creep tumors. This one would be really good to get. Well, that blue flame is done. It is done and ready to rock. Thor drop, Hellion push. Another couple more creep tumors going down. Ling's trying to get rid of these Thors, but no, getting absolutely roasted apart here. And the Thor's getting lifted to the backside. Run. There's too many Hydralisks. Too many get off creep at the very least here. Do these guys have the muscular augments? It sure looks like not yet. They're a little bit slow, as you can see there. Blue flame killing more of those Zerglings. So that's 51 Lings down. Resources lost at this point are going to be 2,500 for the Zerg player compared to 21 for DeMusliM. I mean, at this point, he's lost a Liberator, few Hellbats, few Hellions, 6 Marines, a Medevac. I mean, not a whole lot of stuff for DeMusliM. He's got his 3rd base established and a 4th base. That's actually a 5th base for Nerchio. Coming up top here, he is just one of the best macro players on Earth. There is a reason they call him King Arthur. That's for sure. 170 to 137 total supply. Nerchio making 11 roaches to complement his Baneling Hydra composition here. I don't know about Roach when there's mech on the ground. It just seems problematic with the number of tanks that are here for DeMusliM. It's got how many here defending? 4 defending this 3rd base. And actually, surprisingly, nothing defending the natural. I wonder if Nerchio knows this. Yeah, he's sending a small hit squad up to the natural while trying to attack at the 3rd base as well. These Hydras might just be sacrificial, though. Yep, Roach, Hellion, run by into the natural base here. These Hydras are just A-moving into tanks, which is real bad for them. Hellbat transformation! Oh, the Smart Servos would have been good right there. And the Roaches, no. They're faster at this point than the Hellbats are, but they don't want to win. They can't really stand up to a straight-up fight, not with that splash damage. So the 3rd base is just fine. Natural base still has a bit of a Zerg problem, actually landing some Vikings, trying to deal with them as well. Once again, Smart Servos, man. It'd be real good. And the roaches are all gone. So 5 SCVs have been killed in this game. 3 drones, 83 to 70. Total harvesters. Nerchio looking good. But sticking on this roach hydra stuff over the course of the game does not seem like a great idea. Especially as the number of tanks continues to increase. +1/+1 is done for DeMusliM. He's trying to go for a 4th base now as well. But here comes a big old roach hydra push. Tanking that take splash and retreating. Back onto the creep. Does not like what he sees here. Nerchio's hive is just about complete. Working on missile attacks level 2. Complete in 9 seconds. Thank you, the game heart interface. And +2/+2. Vehicle and ship plating and vehicle weapons being researched by the DeMusliM here as well. Alright, so splitting his army pretty darn well is Nerchio. But the problem is, are any of his units really big enough to do much damage? He's attacking in 3 places at once right now. And is he winning any of these engagements? I guess he is starting to get SCVs fairly well here. Sneaking on back to the natural base to get more at the same time. Hydra's just moving directly into these tanks. Planetary Fortress is done, though. That should be enough for those dudes. The natural base in a lot of trouble. Stutter stepping forward, but the tank count just destroying right there. Okay, so that's 15 dead SCVs, which is really bad. But DeMusliM did keep his 4th base. He did keep most of his tanks. I mean, how many of them he's lost? He's lost 3 so far. He's still got 8, making 3 at a time. These guys are getting scarier and scarier, but the Vipers in production for Nerchio. The Vipers are going to be the way to go here. Blinding Cloud going to be super useful. Abduct could be useful as well. And DeMusliM needs to kill some creep tumors. This creep is pushing up on his 4th base. Real close. Real close. Another Roach Hydra attack here at the front of the natural, but there are enough tanks that he just flat out retreats from that point. So he's on 5 bases. He's got 86 workers. He's just making units to replace the ones that he's lost previously. He's doing this very well, is Nerchio. DeMusliM needs to get up a critical mass of tanks to where Nerchio feels like he can't engage. And if you spread the tanks well enough, even Blinding Cloud isn't going to be very good. Not at all. See that shadow flying across the screen. I think it was a Hydralisk body floating up to the surface there. I don't know. +3/+3 tanks and Thors, man. Looking real nice. All right, small push up here, but enough roaches and hydras to where DeMusliM are retreating to the safety of his tanks. Just pulling back a little bit. He has been slowly leapfrogging tanks up behind him. It's a slow, methodical push here from DeMusliM. He's still at 400 APM, though. Nerchio sitting at 300. So, I mean, slow and methodical may be a bit of a misnomer there. And he's playing fast. It's just tanks don't move very quickly. 6th base for Nerchio coming up down along this bottom left-hand corner. And Nerchio he's still sticking on this Roach Hydra stuff. Again, he's got the Vipers, which he really needs. Oh, he's got some drop Hydras. Could it be Banelings? Gonna drop Roach and Hydra. What is this? What are you trying to do, Nerchio? He's gonna try to drop over this wall, which has been causing him problems for some time. And there we go. Immediate reinforcements on the other side of the wall. Are there enough tanks to make this thing a defense for DeMusliM? Oh, it's looking very close right now. Dropping inside the main base as well, which is terrible. The 5th base does get taken out by some drop forwards by DeMusliM up north, so he's able to get a hit off there at the same time. But he's got Roaches and Hydras using their melee attack animation here inside his own main base. Vikings getting rid of the drop lords. At the very least, making it so these guys cannot attack. More Hydras at the back of this natural base. It's going to be 12 SCVs killed. Tank being repaired as fast as it can here. These guys still in here? Yeah, man, they're trying to get rid of tanks as soon as they pop out. Yep, 1 tank does go down. Thor drop action, trying to get stuff done, has 18 kills, does that Thor. Forced to retreat through. Hydra DPS is just insane, especially when they have the +3 attack. Not even bothering with armor is Nerchio today. Goodbye, SCVs here at the main base. This little Hydra drop has been doing so much work. And finally, a tank is dispatched to clear them out. He has 7 hit points remaining, but he did it. These Hydras back behind the natural base are still here. And finally cleaned out. All right, so DeMusliM's just been experiencing a straight-up nightmare of continued Roach and Hydra attacks throughout this entire game, but he still is on his 4 bases. He's still at 61 harvesters, which is not bad. Nerchio he's re-expanding at his 5th base. He's got a 7th base down here now. Not even really harvesting from this one. He doesn't need to, I guess, but if he needs it later, he'll be able to make it happen. Nerchio just has the perfect composition right now, abducting some tanks in, to this Roach Hydra ball, abducting a Thorin as well. Another tank down. The abducts are insane. From Nerchio right now, working on +3 melee attack. Maybe an Ultralisk transition would not be terrible. Wouldn't be bad from Nerchio. It doesn't actually have an Ultralisk cavern, so perhaps that's not going to be the case. DeMusliM's army looking a little bit ragged and worse for the wear right now. That is 10 tanks that he's lost. 10 at this point. Viper count, just disgusting. He's got 9 of them. There's the blinding cloud on the tank. Some of them not in siege mode. Yanking Vikings over. Yanking tanks over again. This is absolutely just insane. Tanks trying to fight on their own, trying to lift and move with the tanks. Lift and move with the Thors as well. A very injured Zerg army marching right into this natural to try and see what can be done. But every tank fire just seems like it's killing another unit. And yes, the Zerg player is taking stuff with him. But eventually he does manage to clean that thing out. And DeMusliM is your winner of that battle. I mean, kept his 4th base, kept his natural. That's kind of a win. I mean, is it? Oh my, the drop lords. Are these decoys? Nerchio sending empty drop lords down south here. He's going to fly them on in and try to get the army to respond to this. I can't see what else is going on here. He doesn't have... Well, I guess there are some units nearby now. He was maybe just hiding them from the Vikings. He is going to use them as drop stuff. There are still 3 in the front, though, that can absorb a lot of the damage done. They're just basically decoy overlords. And trying to set up and push back more of this creep. More tanks just getting abducted into death. Just into an instant death type situation there. Tanks with +3/+3. No jokes. 85 damage versus armored, which is what roaches are. Drop inside the main. Handful of Hellions to deal with this Roach Hydra stuff. Not great. Not great. Another attack right into these tanks. Abduct. Still doing damage, actually, though. But they are absolutely going to die. Another attack here dropped inside the 3rd base of DeMusliM. Roach is getting murdered there. All right, so that worked out fairly well. And once again, the Zerg infestation in the main doing a lot of work, but eventually getting cleaned up by DeMusliM. And he's finding the time to expand again. This is amazing. This is ridiculously amazing. All right, DeMusliM has a 5th base somehow. Somehow, some way. I guess he moved it from his main, if I had to take a guess. Flew it on over. I think it'd feel better if it was a planetary fortress, but can't do it. Cannot do it. There's just so much creep, so much red, so much pink on this map for all the goodness that DeMusliM was able to do in denying vision from Nerchio in the first half of this game. The second half has just been Creep City. Absolute Creep City here. How many are there? 92 creep tumors on the ground, abducting tanks in again. Just 35 tanks have died now. 35 tanks. Goodbye tank, goodbye tank, goodbye tank. Blinding cloud up. Not really the greatest blinding clouds of all time, but holy smokes, this engagement. Vikings trying to get rid of those Vipers. Hydras trying to get rid of the tanks on their own. Blinding clouds doing enough work. Enough work to take down those tanks and those Thors. Hydras waltzing in to this newly found 5th base that, again, DeMusliM wishes heartily this was a planetary fortress, but it's not. Blue Flame Hellion trying to assist, but reinforcing Hydras are here. The repair enough? No! Planetary Fortress does, or rather, Orbital Command does end up falling as it lifts into the sky, and DeMusliM finally loses a base for the first time in this game, and it was a bad one. It was a bad one to lose. Nerchio knew exactly what he was doing there. Nerchio says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's abducting in tanks and Vikings. More blinding cloud going down here. Tanks from everywhere, though, just splash damaging on top of stuff. Actually, this tank is not in splash damage form. 5th base done once again. Vikings forced to land and fight against these Hydras. It's 144 to 106 total supply. Roach Hydra just doing a complete run by, trying to get inside this main base again. For the umpteenth time for Nerchio. 14 more SCVs go down. I mean, that is how many? 77 SCVs have been killed so far in this game. And once again, Hydra Roach group does work inside the main. Eventually gets cleaned out. And there's a bit of a calm. Here for DeMusliM. But guess who just keeps rallying more and more Roaches and Hydras and Vipers? The answer is going to be Nerchio. He's lost 10 Vipers so far, which is not great. 32,000 resources lost for Nerchio compared to 31. Actually, no, that's 32 for DeMusliM as well. Just a lot more gas. A lot more gas for Nerchio. 12,000 gas lost. Hydras are pretty gas intensive, as are the Vipers. Losing that many is not very good Yeah, I mean, that's just it. He has absolutely no interest in doing anything in this game but continuing to make fully upgraded Roaches and Hydras. And by that I mean +1 armor. But fully attack upgraded Roaches and Hydras and getting Viper support. Here it is again. Parasitic Bomb on this Viking group. And more Parasitic Bomb trying to kill stuff. Overextending a little bit, these tanks are. Get out of there, tanks. Get out. No, why are there so many Roaches in this engagement? I don't actually know. Blinding Cloud there. Vikings trying to do what they can. And DeMusliM manages to hold it off. It's 128 to 180 total supply. DeMusliM is quadruple pumping tanks right now. I just feel, what do you want to do here? What do you want to do here if you are Nerchio? Maybe Mutas? Nah, not really. There are a lot of Viking. I don't know. Vikings aren't very good, though, against Mutas. That might actually not be a bad idea. Just a huge Muta transition would be nice. All right. Vipers present and accounted for. Roaches. Hydra is trying to sneak down from the top side and get into this third base. Yanking a factory. Yanking a tank on over. More and more factories are going to die here. Setting up tanks, setting up the Vikings. More Parasitic Bomb on the Vikings too, which is not what you want to see. Good job splitting off so far by DeMusliM. And actually landing saves the Viking. More Parasitic Bombs. I'm trying to get these Vikings the heck on out of there. Sorry for the mute there. I'm just a bit of a coughing fit. The air quality in Salt Lake has been horrendous the last couple weeks, and it starts messing with my throat the longer I cast while breathing it. Whew. All right. DeMusliM still sitting on 5 bases. Nerchio, I don't think has expanded since he got his 7th a while ago, which he still hasn't used at all. This is just larva production, basically. He doesn't even have a queen there. Not even bothering. Not even bothering to have queen there. Oh, did he just... he just consumed down an evolution chamber. Oh, that's why they're here. It's not a big deal. He's building more for consume. I don't know if I've seen this before. Mass evolution chamber building solely for the purpose of consume for Nerchio today. I don't know what the path to victory for DeMusliM is here. I really don't. He doesn't have enough bases. Right? 5 bases is fine, but when your opponent is now making his 8th, that's not great. Coming from the top side, more abduct, so many Hydralisks. Goodbye. SCV is getting killed here as well. Vikings trying to chase down those Vipers and murder them from distance. They do have +3 armor. And +1 attack, which is pretty useful in this situation. Are the Vipers all dead? No, there's 4 of them. There's 4 of them. But 18 have gone down. 18 Vipers killed by DeMusliM so far. This is insanity. Absolutely crazy. All right, so he's got creep pooping everywhere. Nerchio knows DeMusliM is not trying to expand because he'd know otherwise. Again, so many tanks have been yanked off his ledge to their dooms. I mean, DeMusliM kind of has to set up here. It's a good high ground position to shell on the units from the top side here, but also getting yanked down to the low ground is just an immediate death sentence is what it is. Nerchio is actually harvesting stuff from his bases. All right, here we go. 7th and 8th bases. Our 8th bases are being used for things. He's mined out his main and his natural and his 3rd. He's still got 4th and a 5th here. 6th, 7th, and 8th. Also happy. Income going to look pretty good for Nerchio. 2,200 versus 1,400 per minute on the mineral side of things. Killing some creep tumors. Slowly trying to push back. Slowly trying to push back the Zerg forces. Got a Thor coming in here. Continued Thor production and more abducts. That time a medevac, that time a tank. How many medevacs have died in this game? 4. I haven't really made that many. Medevacs aren't super useful for healing stuff, as it turns out. Maybe some Ravens with healing would be interesting too. But the only difference here is that DeMusliM is getting Thors into his composition. So, fully upgraded Thors. Pretty scary things. Pretty darn scary unit. Vikings, once again, just trying to make sure those Vipers don't do what they are here to do, which is Blinding Cloud and abduct all the livelong day. There's another abduct. Tank does end up going down there. Another base, a 9th base by Nerchio. Is that 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10th base. 10th base. by the Nerchio. Which you don't see a lot in these high-level games anyway. More tanks getting abducted down. 186 to 143 total supply. DeMusliM is unflappable. DeMusliM says, you kill my tanks, I will keep making more tanks. How does that sound? How does that sound to you? It's going to be a Viper. A Viper. It's going to be a Spire. My brain said those rhyme. Obviously, they mean the exact same thing, which is utterly and completely incorrect. More tank shelling. Nerchio hasn't been able to put the killing blow on DeMusliM, and the longer this goes, the weirder this game gets. 25 minutes in, a long time for Legacy of the Void game. Coming into this third base for the umpteenth time is DeMusliM, abducting Vikings, abducting tanks, taking tank splash damage, making 12 more roaches. Is the Zerg player right now pulling back to his 10th base, actually consuming off the 10th base. There's a lot of HP on hatcheries. Nom, 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 nom. That's actually a pretty fun animation, really. Whoa, pushing out. Whoa, DeMusliM pushing out. Did not expect this at all. All right, so he decided he's going for it. He decided it's time to go. Yeah, sure, they're going to come in this backside and kill my third, but can we base race is the question. When your opponent has 10 bases, I don't know the base racing is the way to go here at all. Hydra's rolling into the main base, making sure no reinforcements can show up at all. Tanks not even bothering to be in siege mode right now, killing evolution chambers, killing hatcheries, completely mined out bases. Mind you, they say never base race at Terran, but Nerchio is going to have a Spire here fairly soon, and he does have a very scary maxed out army as well. So if it came down to direct confrontation, I feel like Nerchio would have it, but he's very interested in killing these production facilities, making sure there are no more factories, no more starports, so that DeMusliM is able to make absolutely zero more things. If he can get the Spire before it completes, it could get interesting here for DeMusliM. He's building a command center right in the middle of the map on the edge of the creep. He knows he's very close to losing all of his buildings here. Blue Flame Hellions at Nerchio's 10th base. Vikings tanks coming back here. And actually just setting up to kill these roaches as they try to come out of the main base. They couldn't get the Spire, though. Actually, wait. Where the heck was the Spire? The Spire's not dead, is it? No. 2 Spires here. Oh, at this base. Up in this 5th base up north. Interestingly enough, here's more tanks. Yep, caught alone a little bit. Hellions getting destroyed here as well. Coming from all sides, though. Blinding Cloud going down on the tanks. Forced to retreat, but the Vikings finding a couple Vipers here. Oh my gosh, are they going to clear out this Viking group? They absolutely are. Taking parasitic bombs to the face in the process, though. Oh, 1 Viper does survive with 2 hit points. Are you kidding me? Did all the Vikings die? And that's it. A good game out of DeMusliM. Yeah, lost all his Vikings. 27 minutes. Nerchio is your winner here on Abyssal Reef. What an amazing game. Oh, the ZVTs are good. ZVTs are good these days. All right, so Nerchio. Again, I feel like he had this game pretty much well in hand for most of the time. DeMusliM had a bit of a chance to make something happen towards the end there, but nah, too many Vipers. I mean, 24 Vipers died. Gee willikers. 83 tanks, though. 83 tanks. That one of the highest totals I've ever seen. 224 roaches and 208 hydras went down. Resources lost here are actually kind of interesting. 71,000 lost for Nerchio compared to 60 for DeMusliM. That's the thing. Mech is just more cost efficient. You lose fewer things, but you just get overwhelmed in the end if you can't get up some kind of a crazy composition, get some additional bases going, and get some hurt on the Zerg early on. But all right. So that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.